I've really leaned into what does it look like to just simply champion people.
You're always going to leave money on the table. So it's being intentional with making the smartest decision on best utilization of your time, where you get the most leverage, and focusing on that.
The only way to go far is to go together. I have a worry of failing people.
I burn out often. I burn out every single month in multiple different things.
And if the people don't know who they are and believing in themselves, the content won't work. I learned what does it mean to be behind the scenes.
My, mantra has been just keep showing up.
We often allow our work to identify us instead of our identity identifying how we work. And
let's start with prayer. You lead.
All right. Well, Jesus, thank you for Nick and Alyssa. Man, this is such a beautiful space and such an amazing opportunity to be able to just have fun and grow and to lean on each other and to learn from each other. And God, I just pray that this is used for your goodness and that this people would get to know not only us better, but to know you better through it. And that I just pray that over this space that God, you would just bless it and that people would come in here and feel free when they walk in and they would enjoy themselves. And so we love you. We're thankful for you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. What's up, everyone? Welcome to a new episode of the Free Game with Crack podcast. Today I have Gabe Hammes.
What up? What up?
How do I pronounce your last name, 1 through 10?
Do it again?
Gabe Hammes.
Dude, that's a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
Good.
Yeah, not like other people who would... Hummus. Bro, I was going up for it wasn't like a big award, okay? So I'm not special. But it was like this.
You are special.
There's this thing called Awana, which is like, have you heard of that?
No.
Dude, Awana is like you're younger and you have to memorize Bible verses. And I memorized like a couple of Bible verses, and I got an award from it. And they said Gabe Hammes.
Okay,
which was interesting.
My last name is Bazo.
Yeah.
But what's weird is like everyone in my family pronounces it Bozo and goes by Bozo. Like It's actually like B-O-Z-Z-O would be pronounced Bazo. Bozo would be B-O-Z-O, like one Z. And there used to be a cartoon character, Bozo the Clown.
Yeah.
So like, side note, my first ever tattoo.
That's no way.
Bozo the Clown.
Ah, let's go.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Okay, so that's like taking your name being pronounced wrong, getting made fun of, and then embracing it. Which, now that I realize, a lot of my journey has been that.
Yeah.
So like, okay, in school, let's say the teacher's like, Nicholas Bozo, and then the kids all laugh because of, and I'm like, it's Bozo.
Yeah.
So now the first tattoo I get is, I got Bozo the Clown.
Come on.
Right? So then, with my name, Crackalack, when I first got into like doing music, my best friend's black, I'm white, and at the time, like Eminem and Beastie Boys and maybe Vanilla Ice were like the white rappers.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, man, I'm white, I'm not Eminem, what am I gonna do? And then his idea was, why don't you make fun of yourself? Kind of like how Eminem did 8 Mile, and I'm like, I'm gonna be Cracker, the white rapper. And I actually went by Cracker. So like in our high school newspapers, a picture of me like this, kind of mugshot, and it says, Nicholas Cracker Bazo.
Wow.
It's kind of making fun of myself. And then now even tying into like the studio, a lot of people give me advice on, not give me advice, make suggestions on the name Crack House Studios, and then maybe rub certain people the wrong way or change it. But I think now, because of my whole background and history being so kind of, I feel if somebody is going to judge me based on the name, that they're not the person for me. Like if that's a belief that they have on like, this person could be the greatest, but he calls his business Crack House Studios. We don't want to do business with them. It's like, okay, I don't want to do business with you either.
Sure.
I don't want to be judged based off of that, but yeah.
How do you feel like, what do you think yourself, like when you were thinking of Crack House Studios, like what was like the deeper meaning you think for yourself?
At the time, it was all just, so this is before like doing podcasting, photography, media, business content, or anything like that. It was literally just, I had a room that I was renting that I turned into a recording studio, and all I worked with was rappers, like trap, rap drug dealers, you know, like, and on the intro, and so this is all rap, trap music. The type of beats I made were trap beats. And so then the term of like working on music was like cooking up. And then people would refer to the studio as like the lab. Cooking up in the lab. And then I go by Crack. Everyone's calling me Crack. I'm cooking up with Crack. Then it tied into, on the intro of somebody's song one day, they said, I'm live from the crack house with my dog Crack. And just on the intro, kind of, you know, talking shit basically. And yeah, I didn't have a name for my studio. At the time, it was just more of like, this, I'm Crackalack and this is my studio. You know, people would be on the phone, where are you at? Oh, I'm at Crackalack studio. I didn't have a name for the studio. And then when that happened, I was like, ooh, I like that. That would describe the name. Like people go to cook, create dope stuff, and they come to Crack House Studios. And so I went with that, ran with it. There's been times where I like questioned it and whatnot. But I think because of me calling myself Crackalack, which at one point in time was like a joke, but then now I've done what I've done with the name Crackalack. So like going from a joke to giving people hope, providing opportunities for people, making, you know, money and having success and growing a brand, calling myself Crackalack. Now it's like, watch me do the same thing with Crack House Studios, and it's going to be even bigger. So maybe that's the like chip on my shoulder. I don't know if it's a positive motivator or a negative motivator, but regardless, it's like a battery in my back that's like, I don't know. I kind of get defensive when people say that, like, you should change the name. I kind of get, I've done this, and this. Going by that name. And people love the name. And then there was a time when I had one of our first, I guess, corporate-ish customers, and I was kind of getting in my head too much and thinking, the name, should I have a separate name? But then I'm thinking, like, that's multiple social medias to run, multiple websites to run, multiple LLCs and businesses, and then Google reviews and all these. It's a lot of separation. It's really hard work to build one brand. And so now if you're trying to build multiple at the same time, so I'm questioning it. Fast forward, these people come here and they're excited and smiling and laughing like, the Crack House, this place is awesome. Crack, hey man. And then it was like one of the guys is like, my son loves you. And my son's jealous that I'm here today. I've told him that I'm going to the Crack House.
Let's go.
And meanwhile, I'm getting in my head for a week knowing that they're coming here thinking, should this place be called the Lansing Podcasting Company? Or, you know, like some sort of typical. And so that's my backstory with that.
That's cool. I think and we might get into this later, but like I've been in Lansing my entire life, and I've been into music my entire life, and being around the AOTA circles and other circles just in the Lansing area, Crack House is always definitely one of the ones to be known in something in Lansing. So you're definitely right. Like, I mean, building a brand is difficult, but you know, you might have people that are like, oh yeah, well this relates to this and this relates to that. Maybe you should change it. And you'll have those people. And there's a level of, what's the right word? Level of understanding and awareness of like, you don't want to put anyone in a position where it might remind them of a certain season or might remind them of something that wasn't the best, right? There's a level of that
That is
too.
what has happened sometimes with people.
For sure. But it's also how you choose to identify it.
And brand it. I think it's my job to brand it. Like, I had the idea at one point to make it more like cartoon Disney World-ish with the name, like almost like giving it a character or like a Mickey Mouse. But yeah, it's kind of like take it into a cartoon and make it colorful. And I don't know. The simplest way now is like, I'm Crack, welcome to my house. This is Crack's house.
That's good.
Crack House Studios.
Yeah, definitely. It's how you portray it. And the best brands are the ones that tell about your story. Yeah. You know, like no other brand actually represents well when it's just a name. You know, it has to represent the person behind it.
Mm-hmm. And see, all of everything that you're saying, right? You're very smart.
I appreciate that.
Because how old are you?
I will be, as of the recording of this podcast, 21 tomorrow.
21 tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Oh, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
So you're 20 years old.
Yeah.
Man, you're light years ahead of where I was at 20 years old. I would say I'm excited to have like a long conversation with you.
Yeah.
Normally right now it's, you kind of get to know people through social media and what they post, what they say, or like watching your content talk to the camera. Maybe watch some of my content talking to the camera.
Yeah.
So now you feel like you know me, I know you, but we've never actually had these conversations.
Yeah.
So I like to start with how we met, kind of like maybe some first impressions.
Yeah, let's go.
Where did I meet you? I seen you somewhere on social media.
Okay.
So like, free game to people, embrace social media.
Yes.
It'll change your life.
It will. You never know the connections.
I seen you musically though.
Yeah.
So it's more of like maybe singing, playing the piano, doing something. I don't know if you reached out to me or if I reached out to you first, but I know that I found out that Gabe exists.
Yeah.
Social media.
Let's go.
And then I remember at some point sending you a message, some sort of like, keep doing what you're doing or some sort of thing like that. And then I remember seeing you at church. You know, we started going to church probably, 4 months ago? 5, 6 months ago?
Something like that.
June. Yeah. So about 6, 7 months ago.
Yeah.
Then seeing you at church.
Yeah.
Then realized that you knew how to get down how you get down with guitar and piano and, you know, being involved on the music scene. And then now since then, seeing you with the camera in your hand.
Yeah.
And like filming content and whatnot. So like, that's how I met you.
Bro, I love hearing how people meet me.
Yeah.
Because me being a younger age, but having older friends that are older than me.
Sorry, I'm 37, by the way.
Okay, so he's super young.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, super young.
Yeah.
And I would say that, it's always fun hearing. So I have a podcast with my friend Greg. G squared, salt and pepper for your soul. Guess who's the pepper? No, I'm joking. So we actually met social media as well. So it's really dope. And I think, like I had mentioned earlier, AOTA circles, I was young, trying to make blues music at a hip hop academy.
Okay.
So make that make sense. Thankful for the crew over
Heat?
there. Yeah. So Heat was my AOTA bars mentor.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So Heat and this Ray Sean, Grism, DJ Wise. And so we were out doing that. And so I always heard about your name, and I always looked up studios because I wanted to have a studio of my own. And so definitely social media kind of world. And I think just meeting you sending that message was encouraging.
Do you remember it?
I do. I think it was something. I think it was
this is years ago,
bro. Like a reply to my story, a type of thing.
Yeah,
you like slid up on one of my stories, and it was really like meaning a lot because at a young age, and someone who always looks up to people who are doing things well, especially in the industry that you want to be in, definitely was a big part. And I think it just made me realize more and more how relationships matter more than anything else. And beyond what you do, it's who you are, and how you relate with other people.
Yeah.
And that's what moves you forward. So I think for you, it was, bro, I just was encouraged to be seeing the things that you were doing. I always dreamed of having a studio on my own.
Okay.
And so seeing that and, and I knew Kaz as well, here and there.
Had you ever been to his studio?
So I never went to that studio, but knew of him, especially with following Jerome and the crew at Sounds Good when they had their, when Jerome was doing their hip hop kind of company. And so just knowing all of that, so I think it's just like a big circle. Lansing's small.
Yeah.
Lansing's really small, but big in a sense, right? So what we do, as you do it more, you recognize how tighter the circle is.
What got you the courage to put yourself out there and like make content and show yourself on camera? Because I think there's a lot of people that are watching this right now that they're not there yet. They feel like, watching somebody like yourself, watching somebody like me, they may aspire to do these type of things one day, or maybe they're already doing these things, but people don't know that they exist. I exaggerate to get my point across, but like not a lot of people.
They're not aware.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to raise awareness. And I believe the easiest way to do that and the smartest way to do that is with showing your face on camera.
Yeah.
Social media. So like, do you remember what your early days of content, or like, did you used to do prank videos, or like, what was your first experience with video and content?
Let's go. Well, it actually didn't start with video for me. I remember being super young, plucking away at my grandma's keyboard in her bedroom.
What age range was this?
This is like 3 to 4 years old. So super young. And my mom had me when she was 18. So I never grew up around kids of my own age. Always grew up with people older than me. And
Gotcha.
so that's where I guess some might say a level of maturity is a little high, is higher than most because of that and being homeschooled. And I fell in love with music at a really young age. And because I was homeschooled, it gave me a lot of freedom to do a lot of different things. So at a young age, I was touring with a couple different bands. And I was...
Pause. At a young age, touring with some bands, like how old were you? And like, real quick, this episode is sponsored by Jerry's Automotive right here in Lansing, Michigan. If you're in the need of any type of regular vehicle maintenance or even major repairs, I highly recommend Jerry's Automotive. They're family owned and operated for 60 plus years, and they're just great people and they know what they're doing there. So make sure if you need any auto repair, you go to Jerry's Automotive in Lansing, Michigan, and you can go to their website and book your next appointment at freegamewithcrack.com/Jerry's. That'll take you directly to Jerry's Automotive. Back to the episode.
Yeah. So this is probably like between the ages of 8 and 12.
Okay.
So super young. And
what did you do in the band?
So dude, I was in a country Christian rock band.
Country,
so make that make sense, right?
Yeah, I'm processing it.
Yeah, man. I was like I had the whole shebang though. So I had the cowboy hat, the cowboy boots. I wanted to be the next Christian country rock star. The Lord has redeemed me.
Okay.
Not saying country's bad, okay? But it just wasn't my taste. And it's not as tasteful as some of the music I make now. And then did some solo stuff. And I really just, again, wanted to be the next best thing. And so I, started doing more music, did some solo stuff on my own, released an EP. I was just doing everything that I could because I was just passionate about music. And I think if I think about it deeper, I just wanted to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
And, parents get divorced and...
what age?
This is around age 12. Parents get divorced, 12, 13-ish.
I'm processing that because our daughter is 13. So I'm like, that age.
Yeah, dude.
That's aware.
Yeah, and there was a lot of layers to just the relationship of both parents on my end. Being older, I found myself a lot of times being within the relationship instead of being just the child. And so I tried to be the middle person and handled the things and split up the arguments or do those type of things. And so I think I put myself in a position that, kind of made me not actually just be the child, and allow the parents to do what the parents needed to do.
Yeah.
And so my dad and I were super, super close. He was in the band with me. So we were touring, doing music. I'm on worship every Sunday. And then I had this relationship with my mom being homeschooled where I'm with her every day.
Okay.
And so pretty close with both my parents at the time. Parents get divorced. Dad and I don't have the best relationship at that time. And I started going to City Life, what was formerly known as City Life. And I remember going up to Rob G, and he was like, "Bro, we love your talent, but what does it look like to rap a chord?" And actually rap a chord, like physically taking a microphone cord or quarter-inch cord, like a guitar chord, and wrapping it up. Like, what does it look like to be behind the scenes instead of in front of the scenes all the time? Because as someone who was really young, I was doing all these things And I was going through a lot as a young kid.
Yeah.
And I start to, I'm like going to City Life because I'm like, oh, dope. They got the music, they got the studio, they got everything. This is like perfect for me. And I get told to sit down. And there was a lot of other things within my season at that time that just wasn't wise for me to be on stage and playing. And
like what?
I think just more family dynamics that our family was going through.
Were you going to church with your mom or with your dad or with both?
Yeah, so I was going to church with my mom.
Gotcha.
And my dad is a worship leader. And so I'm always used to being, at this time, always used to being on stage on a Sunday, you know? And so to go to someone expecting to be going to church on Sunday and playing and them saying, hey, what does it look like actually to rap a chord and be behind the scenes and learn what that's like, was a big shift in how I viewed what music is and what worship is.
Elaborate on that. Like, that kind of reminds me of my brother. My brother was the quarterback, the point guard, the pitcher, the the star of everything. And then I think his main gift, not to take too much credit for it, but he had a brother. So I'm like 5 or 6 years older than him.
Yeah.
And so I practiced with him a lot all growing up, and he tried to compete with my friends. So he's competing with people that are 5, 6 years older than him. So when he was in like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, like years beyond skill level. And then once it got to like high school, kids started to catch up and go through puberty, and there was other kids that were strong and fast and whatnot. And so I've never had that conversation with my brother on like, what was that like, that transition from, I guess, being center focus, star of the show, to transitioning to being, then he was like a wide receiver, not the quarterback anymore.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't necessarily, and I love that story. I think it wasn't necessarily like, oh, these are the star players and you're not a star player no more. It was actually none of us are star players, and we've all learned at that point. They're all in this position where it's like, it's actually not about the stage and it's not about what you're doing. It's about who you are and your heart posture and why you're doing what you're doing. And because like I had a great goal. My goal was to be able to preach the gospel and to tell people about Jesus through my music. But what I realized is because where my heart posture was at, the microphone was over my head, so nothing was being amplified. And so no one could actually hear anything that I was trying to say or sing, because what my heart was doing, my heart was about me, not about why am I doing this, and it's actually for Jesus. And so I think it was more so of a humbled thing.
Gotcha.
I wasn't really humble. And I wanted to be that all-star. And so for 2 years, I didn't touch an instrument. And I learned what does it mean to be behind the scenes, and develop really who I am and my heart posture. And I will say I have never been in a, I wouldn't say better, but I am so thankful for that I don't ever want to lose that anymore. Of like, I was always on trying to be in the spotlight, and instead it's like, wait, how does the spotlight go on to him first, Jesus first, and then others? And, I actually didn't start playing bass until I went to City Life. And so all these different things, I guess, it's really shaped how I view and the filters that I use even today and how I run my business, which is one, like care about your heart and why you're doing what you're doing before you actually do it. Because if my heart is not in the right posture, actually nothing is going to succeed.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I have like maybe a switch that like once it's kind of like the exposure principle or effect or something. Like once you're exposed to a certain thing, you can no longer unsee it.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way with once I get either turned off about a person, place, event, thing, and I lose that like love or connection or something, like I know that it's time for me to check out. And I would say I stopped doing studio sessions about 1.5 years ago. And it was a similar-ish type of thing of seeing it was bigger than me doing a session versus a person. And for me, it was the bigger thing is build the studio. Somebody's got to step up and build the studio. But meanwhile, I was spending every hour working at the studio doing sessions, also feeling like, well, no one will go to anyone else because everyone comes here for me.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, I can bring on the right people and, there can be this adjustment. And so that's been a lot of, I would say the last 1.5 years of my life is transitioning to more of a team to where, now even like with this podcast, this is the first episode that we're filming right now without a team, but with 100% intentions of team.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing that none of this stuff is going to work without the people. Yeah. Where before I was, honestly, up until kind of like right now, I've been, my bad, let's say that.
No, you're good.
1 foot in, 1 foot out-ish, as far as, and it's a safety mechanism too, of trying to protect myself, of not being too dependent on people, because then I like have this fear of like losing control or whatnot. But none of this is going to work without the people. Yeah. Like me producing podcasts right now, this is like an extra 15 to 25 hours a week that I don't have, that some way, somehow I'm going to sacrifice a bunch of things to systemize it and make it as easy as possible. We were talking about Torian. I heard you guys bring up Torian earlier. Yeah. And what I've been talking to him about is I want to make it as easy as possible for you to professionally produce a podcast without thinking of like, oh crap, is the lighting good? Like, no, we're gonna have a permanent solution for lighting. Is the audio
Shout
good?
Out Torian, man. That's the homie.
So I'm just excited about that. I'm excited about bringing people together and seeing that like it's a greater purpose. And I have to intertwine God there too. But
I think as I've gotten older and as I've done more things, especially with business, and you're a legend in this game, even in video and everything that I do, I've recognized that the only way to go far is to go together. And if you want to go fast, go alone. Mm-hmm. And I've really leaned into what does it look like to just simply champion people. And I just want to be a lead championer. And I think that stems from something deeper from my childhood in a way of like, man, I actually recognized that when I was touring and doing all these things, there was a sense of it was about me, but I actually just wanted to be around people and love people. And so do you think that there's a thing from maybe your childhood or just your life experiences that you feel like, oh, wow, I can recognize that this part of me wanting to do it with a team? Because you could do things yourself and it'd be okay, right? And you could shoot with AI. We could have AI be doing things for us if we wanted to, right? But what do you think maybe in your life or your experiences you've just recognized, oh, because of this moment or experience, I need people even more now than ever?
I think because of the vision is so big now. Like I say it often that I'm called to build the studio. It's just the episode with Jerome, and I was talking about the studio was going to close down. And then I'm thinking to myself, because I have been kind of the 1 foot in, 1 foot out of, man, building an actual company with people in it, it's very hard. Yeah. Very, very, very hard. Where for, almost 20 years, it wasn't a team. It was just solo, one man. And I think when I was around 26 was the first year that I did like 6 figures in income. And so since then, I've never not done that. And so I've had this, not an escape plan kind of thing in my back pocket of being like, if this is starting to get too hard, I don't know if it's worth it. Yeah. I don't know if it's worth me building it maybe I will be fine by myself. I can just get, a handful of clients to do this, and then that'll do this, and I can do it myself, and I don't need people. But then I would never choose it. And so I've asked myself, like, well, then why the hell not do that? If that would be so easy, and now you don't have to manage people and do systems and do all this. And I always just go back to, like, I'm called to build the studio. I'm called to build the studio. And I want to build the place that I wish existed when I was, 18 and coming up. And I remember the only thing that existed was Lacaze had a studio somewhere that was just a leased room, and people would make music there. But the vision that I have is, like, eventually having this whole strip, which, it started with just a room to make music. And then I started traveling for videos to big cities like, LA and Chicago, New York and Miami, and these places. And I was exposed to, kind of going back to the exposure principle or effect, I was exposed to, man, there's a music studio. These people just left the music studio. Now there's a photography area. They're taking pictures. Then there's these sets over here. They're shooting videos. Like, this is literally a one-stop shop. And I have always been referred to as, like, the one-stop shop guy. All right, so you see and hear this quality. This is just one example of the many different services that we specialize in here at Crack House Studios. Whether you're a brand or business or an artist or creative, we offer services to help you grow. Everything from professional video content, audio, social media, marketing, coaching, or even if you're just looking for a place to create, we got you covered. 20 plus years in the game, we are the highest rated studio in the state of Michigan. Artists travel across the entire country specifically to work with us here in Lansing, Michigan at Crack House Studios. If you're interested in any of our services, head over to crackhouse.studios.com. So I want to create the one-stop shop place, company. And so now, instead of like when people would do sessions with me, and when I would get to mixing, the artists would start telling their friends and bumping them, being like, man, he's about to put that crack seasoning on there. Wait till he puts the crack seasoning. And it was like my seasoning, but now it's the Crack House seasoning where, okay, both rooms start with the same template that I created for the last 20 years. Which what I have found is, like, this is the moi. So this is our stuff now. And now I'm building it out with all the other stuff. And, like, to try to go back to childhood, I think it originally started from more of a negative versus a positive of, like, me and my wife talk about this, where I was cut from the basketball team multiple years in a row, which at the time seemed like the biggest thing in the world. If, like, you're a 7th grader, you're friends with all the guys on the basketball team, like, that's where you're having sleepovers, hanging out, birthday parties, whatever. So it's like that group of people. And then, like, we would play at open gyms and our houses and stuff. So, like, I didn't suck. It seems like when we would play, I would be one of the better players out of the 10. And back then they had an A team with, like, 12 people and a B team with 12 people. Wow. And it was like me being cut from that. And it's like, wait, you're saying out of 24 people? And so it's like, dang, this person said that I wasn't good enough. I disagree with him, but he has the final say. And I think that is this, like, dark-ish rooted place of me wanting to be the boss owner, because now, I guess, what I say goes versus it being up to them. Or let's say I feel that my skill level has grown and my brand and my demand, and I want to raise my prices, but he says that I can't raise my price. Like, that would suck the life out of me. So I guess that's more of, like, the negative side. But now the positive side from, like, the last 6 months is none of this would be possible without God. And I know that for a fact. And then, honestly, like, the cliche saying of let go and let God, that's literally what I live by. Yeah, like, we had another slow month a few months ago. Calmest I've ever been. It's just like, why am I so calm? It's just like this reassurance in knowing that, like, my, I guess, mantra has been just keep showing up. As in, the results are, that's not in my power. I don't have control. He has control. What I have control of is, I know my skills and my ability, and I know it's a matter of, if I show up here every single day and I use my brain to think about what's the most important things I need to do today, and I make sure that I'm taking action and I'm being productive, and then leaving the rest up to the big OG, you know, that's all I can do.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, being a freelancer, it's nothing like
it's highs and lows.
Highs and lows.
Very highs and very lows.
Yeah, some of the lowest points. Because I think you have I personally have a worry of, and I'm recognizing this more and more. I have a worry of failing people, more than I have a worry of failing myself. I feel like I can sometimes fail myself by failing people. And so when it's a slower month, I'm like, oh, dang, I'm actually not able to support others.
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing wrong? And it's that idea of just like, oh wait, I have to think differently about that. I have to change my motive and remember, okay, am I actually doing this because I want to make money, or am I doing this because I want to empower people? And if I'm empowering people, the actual fruit and the actual money, that'll come. Money will follow vision.
Mm-hmm.
So
where'd you get that though? Like to even think that money follows vision?
I'll be honest with you, it's something that Jerome has said that has stuck with me.
Really?
I think if you have a vision, if you have a dream and you have the plan attached to it, man, money will follow that. One, because you've put it in God's hands.
Yeah.
And two, man, if it's something that's going to support the community, it's going to honor Jesus, and it's going to better you, what's better? Why wouldn't people want to invest into that? People have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at this, right? It supports the community.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to honor God through it. It helps you grow. People have invested in this.
Yeah.
And so I think obviously it takes time,
mm-hmm.
and it's slow. The game is not fast.
Yeah.
Free game is not fast. It's not a 60-second clip. It's not a 30-second clip. It's not an hour podcast. It's not a webinar. It's not a workshop. No. Free game, and the wisdom is actually taking it, chewing on it, reflecting on it, and experience it for your own self. Because we could listen to all these podcasts, we could listen to all these notes and all this stuff, and it's like, dude, I freaking love that. And it's inspiring. It's motivational. But it actually never works if no one takes it for themselves. And I think I've needed to realize that even more now as I'm a business owner.
Yeah.
I do video, and that's awesome. And I love being able to capture someone's story, me to tell that.
Yeah.
I also do marketing coaching. You know what marketing coaching is? I get to help create identity statements for people. That's what I do.
What led to you doing that?
I think I recognized as I was growing my video business, I was like, same with you. I was like, because at a young age, after music and doing 2 years of not playing on a stage, which was great, and I loved that, I learned that actually, wait a minute. Part of what I was doing is I was putting God in a box and saying, I'm Gabe the musician. And it's actually, wait a minute, you're actually Gabe, the beloved son, who can play music, who is a creative. And I think I started putting God in a box in a sense. And so I started getting into video, started getting into website development, SEO, marketing, all of that. And so after taking care of my grandma for 2 years while graduating high school, working an 8-to-5 job, and she had passed, I was like, okay, I want to start something that impacts people and impacts the city that I live in. And so I started doing video. I started doing website development. I started doing marketing this. I started doing that. Started doing this. And I was like, wait, I'm actually doing way too much. And people actually don't know what I do because I'm offering too much. And they're like, wait, so you do this or do you do this? Wait, so I actually don't understand what you're doing. And
she's going over there like this. But keep going.
This is a message.
Bro, that's what I love about podcasts is like this was unplanned, unscripted, just like natural conversation, but I'm supposed to hear this right now.
Come on. And so I was like, okay, wait a minute. I'm doing all these things and people I would go to these networking events. So one of my 8 to 5 jobs was I was a marketing broker for a company who was a big networking company, basically. And
locally?
so I was from the age of 13 to 16, 17.
Okay.
And it was great because I could work full time while still being homeschooled, still graduating, took care of my grandma, like I had mentioned. And so I started this company originally called GH Products. I was doing all this stuff. And I was like, okay, people actually don't want more. They want the best version of what I can do best or what they need. Does that make sense? So instead of me offering 5 different things, I was like, okay, let me offer one thing, video. So I started doing video. And then I recognized people don't know how to use video. And they're like, wait a minute, Gabe, I'm not getting any ROI, which is return on investment for the stuff that I'm producing or for the stuff that you're making for me.
Yeah.
I'm making quality stuff.
Yeah.
I bought a super nice camera because I wanted to make sure that people were able to experience excellence within the city of Lansing. And so I was like, okay, let me teach you how to do it. And I started realizing, wait a minute, I'm not meant to just do video. Video is part of what I do, but I'm actually meant to be able to connect with real people, real time, and help them grow their business. Not because of what I offer, because of who I am and the free game I can kind of give them from experience. And so I started doing marketing coaching. And for the past 2 years, I've really honed in on a small amount of people to be able to really love on them well and build something that works for them versus building something that works for the many.
So do you have custom packages or do you have like, see how these flyers are?
Yeah.
For me, okay, I want you to kind of coach me right now. So, okay, I've had to reinvent myself really a lot over this last year and a half, as in for 20 years, it was like, what's up, I'm Crackalack. I serve music artists. I used to be a music artist and I learned how to do all these things because I did them for myself. I was poor. I didn't have no money for beats, studio time, video. So I learned how to do all this myself. And so then I realized being the artist wasn't for me. And so then I offered these services for artists. Yeah. So I would sell, my menu was, you need beats, you need studio time, you need music video. I sold 3 things. So life was simpler. Yeah. But then I had reached a ceiling and I evolved. And I know that like, okay, that was a chapter. That was an awesome chapter in the book, a certain part of the movie. But then now it's like, okay, then I move into this studio and then I've learned so much over the last 20 years about business. And then I remember Malik, who used to be my cameraman, one of the times he was talking to me, he was like, all right, if you're in a room with 10 other producers, how would you just dominate them? And I'm like, well, they probably make better beats than me because there's like 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds that make beats all day, every day. But I would know how to build a brand, promote myself, and make more money than all of them. Yeah. So it's kind of like the branding, marketing, business world. Then the same thing was like with video guys. Like, okay, if you're in a room with 10 other videographers, how would you just crush them? And I'm like, well, there's video guys out there that are like high-level cinematographers, color grading. So there's people out there that have better work than me, but I have a better brand, marketing, business. I probably make more money than them, so I'm better at those things. Then now I'm building the studio, and then shout out to Desco Martin. We're using his camera right there on you. Yes. He had asked me a question about 2 years ago that kind of opened my eyes. We're sitting at a coffee shop in Old Town. I think it's Blue Owl. Yeah. Blue Owl Coffee. And he asked me, he said, Crack, why music? I was like, what do you mean? He said, just like, I think that you're one of the most talented people that I know, but you limit yourself because you're working with music artists. Like, you ever think about offering the same video and stuff? And he said, no one knows more about Facebook ads than you, that he knows. Why are you working with music? And I was just like, man, at this point, it's kind of on autopilot. That's been my hustle. Just need money or whatever, that's the thing I do. The people in my phone book, it's rappers. So like that's been my thing. So then he opened my eyes to that. So then I kind of explored, well, what would I do for businesses? And I think it was in a stage of where my life was so fight or flight. This is around like when Lacaze passed away. And I didn't know if like this was a sign to step away from the studio and focus on video stuff or focus on other stuff. I didn't really know. So I was in this transitional phase and met with a few business owners. And then the problem that I faced with talking to them was they'd be like, hey, what would you charge to run my Facebook ads? But then when I have a conversation with them, I realize you don't have an offer. Your website sucks.
Yeah.
Like you need somebody to come in and run your whole business.
Yeah.
Like you're not in the market for a $1,500 Facebook ad campaign or something.
I want to introduce you guys to Royal Legacy Clothing. It's a clothing brand that myself and my best friend Dylan co-own. We started this about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we had a lot of different things to learn, a lot of life to experience, and we took a few years off. And then in this year, in 2022, I'm excited to announce that we're relaunching it. Now, what Royal Legacy Clothing means to me is picture the guy that comes into work just a little bit early, a little bit before everyone else, because he wants to get a step ahead. Picture the guy that when everyone else is done working, he stays late. He's the last one there because he wants more out of life. That person is who's wearing Royal Legacy. The goal is to build a legacy, so do that while wearing Royal Legacy. I'm just picturing my come up over the last 10 to 20 years, and I wish I could go back and show me wearing Royal Legacy during all of those years. I think self-awareness is key in knowing who we are, but also it's just as important, if not more important, to know who we are not. And who I am not is I'm not a loser. I'm not the guy that's never gonna amount to his full potential. And with connecting and networking and meeting a lot of different people, the people that I resonate with the most and connect to are people that all want more out of life. One life, one legacy. RoyalLegacyClothing.com. You guys can use coupon code CRACK and save 10% off at the checkout. We greatly appreciate all of your support.
So then I met with another person and it was the same thing. Like they didn't know about a Facebook pixel. They didn't do any email marketing.
Yeah.
And again, their website was terrible. Like no one would ever trust the website. So I'm like, you need all these different things. So then it seemed like you need to have an entire marketing company that offers websites, social media, email marketing, ads, all this stuff if you want to help people that way. And then kind of fast forward to where we are now, I would say the main source of income comes from working with a few local businesses that have nothing to do with the music industry. Like an auto repair company is the main one. And it's helping grow their business with social media content.
Yeah.
And that's it though.
Yeah.
And so here I am now on, I think I beat myself up a lot with our website is Shopify. So we hear the cha-ching notifications and it's all the team, which is great. But like money is the main thing slowing the growth down right now. With like before we started filming, I'm pointing, I want to get a light there, another light there. We need to get another camera here and tripods and this, and this. And it's all money stuff. And I know I have the highest earning capacity to everyone at the studio. And I'm ready to hustle. I think I miss the busyness of like showing up and earning. And so some people think of me and they think of, oh, the guy beats or something. Some people think of me and they think of music videos. Some people think of me and they think the music studio. Some people think of me and they think of business content or social media. It's kind of like, who is this guy and what does he do? It's a lot of stuff. And my biggest nightmare and the hardest thing that I've had to figure out over these years is the niche. So I feel like I would be one of your most difficult cases or studies, or is it clear?
No, it's super clear. I think the first question you have to ask is, why is money the biggest thing that's blocking you from doing what God has called you to do?
Like buying equipment or like building maybe, or?
Yeah. I've learned that I actually need less material and I need to become more myself before I get material things.
Break that down. Because I'm thinking like, man, the main compliment I get is like genuineness, authentic.
Yeah. And I think you are.
Thank you.
I think it's, do you believe in yourself that you are? Or do you believe that you feel like you need all these other things in order to be qualified to do what you do? And yeah, I think over 20 years of experience is way more creditable than a third camera or 2 panel lights. And now there's a place and there's a time where it's like, okay, now I do think we can upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
And I think equipment, don't get me wrong, equipment matters for sure. But you have, out of all people, would know that the story is what shines the most. And that content is content. Sure, we want to provide an excellent service, but if I can't get down the content itself before adding anything else, the content isn't good. And if the people don't know who they are and believing in themselves, the content won't work. Everything that I've done, it has to work for me first. I have to believe. I've had to be in a position myself where I've realized that, okay, I actually need this for me to grow. And if I need this, then other people must need it too.
Yeah. That's been my whole life journey.
Yeah. And it has. And I've seen that and it's been amazing. But I think money can't be the only thing that's holding you back from growing. Money helps and money fuels. Money isn't the main source, though, that I've learned. And I'm not saying you're thinking that at all. I'm just, what pinpoints in my head is that's like the number one thing. I've been in the game for 2 years full time, and I just now got my own space where I was living out of coffee shops, working at a coffee shop and running that mug to the ground, bro. Like everybody know me at coffee shops now.
Okay.
And not saying a space qualifies me, but I would say that my relation, people, like you had said, people would say that, I mean, Crack is a guy of integrity and honest and is someone who cares a lot about people. And I think that for me, I had to recognize, because I want everything, bro. I want a $50 million space.
Yeah.
That would be nice, right? But I think I've just really leaned into that for myself personally, is that kind of giving it to God, let go, let God type of thing. In the lowest moments in the lowest dollar bill signs of the month, right? Where you don't have any money coming in. How is that being translated into when you do have money? How is it being sowed? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And so I think for you, as like when you're thinking of, okay, how do I actually then shape this into a story that people can relate to? Because marketing actually is nothing but relatability. That's marketing at its finest. You think of Nike, you think of bigger brands. Nike is one I can use. They don't sell shoes. That's something that is offered.
Mm-hmm.
They sell emotion. They sell relatability. Who's their biggest target? Their biggest target is athletes.
Mm-hmm. They
relate to athletes. So for me, I've actually done zero marketing the past 2 years of my business. I'll post some things here and there. I needed to be able to relate with people, relate with myself, so that the product that I offer is going to be able to help people win.
Yeah. I guess for me, money's always the tool that simplifies, because right now the bottleneck with everything is myself.
Yeah.
As in, like, this is dependent on me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, how can I keep growing without me doing everything here? Oh, I need to expand. Well,
yeah.
There's other people that don't have 20 years of experience with this, and this. So how can I simplify their process? Well, if I spend $1,000 on these lights, they don't have to learn lighting.
Yeah.
I already learned lighting. I'll set the lighting here. You show up and you press power.
Yeah.
So I think it's that. It's me knowing, like, right now I'm bummed out that I have to stop building because I have 25 hours of podcast editing right now. And so I think it's literally having, let's say it's 1,500 hours assigned to you, but you only have so many hours in a day. So then what happens is even things that you enjoy doing, that you love doing, like it was the other day, I was caught up and I just focused on editing a video. And I realized I don't hate editing videos. Yeah. It's the situation that I'm in of, you have this big overhead. I have certain debt that's at interest. So that's where like money is a thing too.
No, 100%. And I hope you know, I wasn't saying that that's like the end all be. I was just, that was something that came to my mind as you were talking. And I think even not just for you, but for people, because I think oftentimes we idolize money and we think, oh, I need the next best thing in order to grow. And it's actually, wait a minute, you are the person who grows, not the material.
Yeah.
Your material is a tool. And I love how you said that. Money is just simply a tool to help you elevate.
Yeah.
Elevation is different than growth, in my opinion.
Break that down.
Elevation is I'm going to be able to provide a better product. Growth is I'm going to be able to tell a better story. Because the way I communicate, your communication is probably the highest dollar value out of anything. Your relatability, how you're talking to people.
Yeah.
Right? Your relationships. If I can't communicate what I am doing well, then no one's going to know me. No one's going to understand what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And if I'm so worried on how the product's going to be coming out instead of the product itself, how the product works, is it actually going to work?
Yeah.
And so there's a place where the tool, which is money and materials, come into play, and it's amazing. It's awesome for sure. But it's like, is that what I'm wanting to be first? Dude, you probably know so many, you yourself probably, I started out with nothing but just a small little interface and Logic. Yeah. $200 with Logic. And that was it. Yeah. And that's how I started making beats, bro. I started making music. And so it's like, actually, it's your inner heart. Like, how are you maturing? And then once you get to a place where you feel like, okay, now I can upgrade. Now you can know, okay, now I know how to use that camera even better.
Yeah. What would you say takes up the most of your time every week? That's the new question I ask people. Instead of like, what have you been up to or what are you working on? Just like, what takes up the most of your time every week?
I think right now in this season is I am about to release some, like most of my marketing stuff.
Okay.
So I'm in the process of rebuilding my website, finalizing just the things that I'm doing. And I think really allowing myself to take control, like allowing God to take control of what I'm doing, instead of me taking control of it. And how do I do that? Man, I'm trying to spend as much time with Jesus and do my work through him, and not focusing so much on the work itself, but like, man, how is this work speaking to me? How is God using this work for my soul? So I think that's what's taking up most of my time. I know that's a little longer answer to it. But.
Do you ever run into where you feel like, not that God has nothing to do with the work or the specific thing, or like, do you always find the meaning in God behind the specific task? Or like, I'm picturing the person that's like,
not every day.
I got to break down these boxes at my job right now. How is God speaking to me through breaking these boxes? Or honestly, there's a lesson in everything. So as I went through there, like,
Hey, external processing, right?
Yeah.
I got to a place where this past year, I didn't want to pick up my camera again.
What do you think led to that?
I think because I kept doing work because I needed to work. I kept being creative because I needed money. Mm-hmm. I needed to work. It's my lifestyle. And
she's looking at me right now.
And I just got so tired, and I'm like, crap, I'm not even wanting to be creative anymore, because I'm doing the same reel for the same company every single week. And this is tiring. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, God, Like, what am I doing wrong, essentially? And it's like, Gabe, you're actually doing nothing wrong. You're just not allowing me to speak to you through the skills I've given you. Because I believe the talents that we've been given, the things that we do, are not meant to just serve others. It's actually a language that God uses to speak to our souls.
Dog, you're 21. I love it.
Or
not 21. Tomorrow you'll be 21.
Tomorrow,
you're 20
21.
right now.
What time is it? Is in a couple hours I'll be 21.
Yeah.
And that has ruined me, bro, in a good way, because I'm like, dang, how is that person who's sitting in the chair getting their braids done or locks done, how is that smile going to speak to my soul? And I've become more creative with that filter instead of, oh, I have to do this because I have a deadline to hit.
What are you doing? What does it look like I'm doing? Filming content, jackass. You look like you're struggling. How do you turn this thing on anyways? Do you want some help? I mean, what, you can help? You do know that this is what I do. I help people with this all the time, right? All right, so what do? Look, just go to crackhousestudios.com/call, book a call with me, and I'll help you out. All right, sounds good. Talk to you soon. I've done something similar with, I refer to like working as serving.
Yeah.
That was like similar things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm working right now, doing these videos or doing this, this, and this. But it's like, if you refer to it as, oh, I'm serving.
Yeah.
And the skills that I have is this, like, this is my gift. And I guess, embracing your gifts, understanding that like you were given your gift for a reason. Like there's a reason why you were drawn so much to video. And the same thing with me being creative. And then this has been like something that I've been struggling with accepting or I guess, what's the Justin Bieber? Is it not clocking to you? It hasn't been clocking to me until recently, where I just had this assumption that everyone thinks, and not so literal as I'm saying it right now, but of course everyone gets that or sees this or understands it. And like one of the ahas was specifically with content creation. And I'm talking to a guy that I've helped do his content for him. Yeah. And then he's aware he needs to do more. And so he's getting going. And I'm just like, oh, when you were doing that, you could make some content out of that. Or you could do a carousel like this. And I'm throwing these things out. And he was like, no, crack. What I'm talking about is when I hold my phone up, how far from my face do I hold it? I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
We often allow our work to identify us instead of our identity identifying how we work. And what I mean by that is that we get so caught up in what we're doing that we forget who we're doing it for. And so I'm someone just like you. I believe that both of you and I are visionaries. Mm-hmm. We see the vision, and it's hard for us, in some sense, to come up with a plan to get to the vision.
Yeah.
Because we just are, I can do this here. I get this light here, that camera there, all this stuff.
Yeah. And
it's like, whoa, wait a minute. I forgot that I actually can use the thing that's inside of my pocket to do the exact thing I'm doing right now. And actually, I forgot that, wait, I actually just want to get to know Crack before I actually worry about anything else. Mm-hmm. And we've all been shaped and designed and called and given an identity before we were even born. And a lot of times we allow our talents and skills. I believe that your calling is not because you're not called because you have skills. Mm-hmm. You're called because you are a beloved son of Christ, beloved daughter of Christ. From there, God has given you talents to be able to live out that calling even more. And again, we get caught up in this. And it's just because of the society that we live in. We live in a culture that's so fast paced, and we're so of the world. We're not just people who live in it, we're of it. And so we get used to this, like, oh, well, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, you can do that. And it's like, wait a minute, no, what's your name first? And what actually you might need, because they might not need professional videography. They might not need that light to be right there. Maybe they just need to get their name out because no one knows their name.
Yeah.
Hopefully that made sense.
Yeah. Let's talk about podcasting. What got you into doing podcasting? Or like, here's what I think a good conversation would be like, how do you balance, okay, church, everything you got going on there.
Yeah.
Making a living, doing what you enjoy, still doing music, because music fills your soul.
Yeah.
Possibly, right?
Yeah.
You love doing music.
Yeah.
And then doing a podcast with a friend and then creating content, promoting who you are and what you do on social media. Like, what does your routine look like in a month or in a week? Or what are some like systems that you found that help you do that and whatnot?
Yeah, everybody's story is different, and what works for them. I found that waking up at 5 a.m. every day has been my season.
Good for you.
And so I'm up at 5. And I'm not perfect at this, but I think I've over the years trained my body to become a morning person and always waking up at 5. And so I'm typically up in the morning. I'm probably in the Bible, and then I'm probably in the gym. I try to be. I'm down 150 pounds from the beginning of 2024 to now.
Good for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And so working on my health and things like that. And then I think I prioritize the day and say, okay, Gabe, what are the things that you feel like you can accomplish today? Not what needs to be done today. Because I think if I set deadlines for myself, they're great. But if I say this needs to be done today, it's actually not going to get done. Instead, I'm like, hey, what's something you feel like you can accomplish today? And then from there, I have ideas. Okay, I know this has to be done by this time. I know this has to be done by this time. And so I think I kind of just go with the flow. And my calendar is the best system I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah. Use Google Calendar?
Google Calendar, man. Yeah. That's the thing, bro. And so I put literally every single thing that I do in my calendar. So if it's, I need to go eat lunch, I'm putting that in my calendar.
Yeah.
If I say, hey, I'm going to go record my podcast, I'm putting that in the calendar. And so I do struggle sometimes. And I think I question often, am I doing too much?
Yeah.
And I think I've recognized that, okay, is everything that I'm doing fulfilling and helping me live out my calling even better? I think oftentimes we say yes to good extra things, but that often means a no to your calling.
Yeah.
Because I want to do all this other stuff. It's like, okay, but is it actually helping me live out what God wants me to be doing?
I love that you refer to time frames as seasons. I do the same.
Yeah, it's different for every season, bro. I mean, being freelancers, you never know. Like 1 month, you might be grinding every single day.
Yeah. I've
had months where I'm up at 2 a.m. most nights working. Mm-hmm. Is that healthy?
No.
Nope. Not at all. And I've recognized that. I think I work really, really hard, and we all work really, really hard. But oftentimes I work too hard to where I'm burnt out, and I actually can't provide a great product.
When was the last time you burnt out? I burnt out. I burn out often. I burn out every single month in multiple different things, but it may be burnt out. It could just be from the day, honestly. Yeah. Like some days it's, this happened and this happened and things got done, or in business, a lot is like putting out fires, like maybe thing that wasn't expected, or like a thing that happened yesterday is one of the podcasts. There must have been something wrong with one of the mics, but there's like a humming or something. Dang. And it's now, yesterday was 2.5 hours of troubleshooting with ChatGPT.
Yep.
What are different things that I can do to try to remove this humming and hissing in an audio thing, right? But it's like, did I plan on that? No, but it came up, and I think
the name of the game is be flexible.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to come up.
But that's also like the letting go and letting God.
Yeah.
What was it, 2 weeks ago, Pastor Marvin, and he did it.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
So me and Alyssa have been doing that.
Yes.
Something will happen, and she'll just go like this.
Yeah. If I can win the morning, I can win the day. And so I've really honed in on starting out my morning with a win. And I know Jerome might have mentioned this in his podcast as well, but shout out to him, man. And just the fruit from him, it's been a blessing. And
how has he played as a mentor in your life?
Oh, so big. So big. I mean, my dad and I's relationship were really rough. And they swarmed me like bees. And they are someone, I wouldn't be here sitting talking with you today if it wasn't for them allowing God to use them. And I'm so thankful for it.
How did you feel towards your dad at the time back then? Like, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of hurt, a lot of frustration, a lot of abuse of power in a sense of, in a way of just like not like doing worship, but not living out worship and living out a Christian godly life. And so, you know, parents going through, my dad cheating on my mom multiple different times, and me going through that, and me being the one who caught some of it. And so that was big in my life. And it's a story now written in both of our lives, which is beautiful. And I think I've grown, and because of the mentorship of men around me in that season and even the season today, I've recognized what it looks like to love with boundaries and to love him, to honor him. We read the Bible verse, honor your mother and father. It's like one of the most important commandments in the Bible, right? And it's like, well, wait, how do I honor someone who has hurt me so much?
Yeah.
And am I supposed to honor him? And it's like, wait, when did honoring doesn't mean saying yes and becoming best friends with that person. I can honor you and not have a relationship where I'm talking with you every day. I'm actually honoring you by saying no to some things because I want to love you well. And so him and I have a good relationship, great relationship now. And I'm super thankful for my pops and, for the things that he's instilled in me. And but at the same time, it's like, man, how do I still love with boundaries? How do I still love? And Jerome and the team, and they've always instilled that into me and plenty of other things. But yeah.
Similar. I guess, how do you love with boundaries? I have removed myself. So I'm just kind of love from afar, as in like love and care about you, but maybe not enough to have a conversation with you because I don't really know what to talk about with you.
Yeah.
Because
so
you lie
fair.
about everything,
Yeah.
or you have strong opinions and not comprehending, or ignorant thinking. And
I really hone in on the idea that, one, everybody's story is so different. And grief takes time. Hurt takes time. And that time might be 30, 40 years.
would you say it's understanding who they are or why they are, and then accepting and letting go to forgive and be like, hey, they know no better because of this, and they were raised this way, and that's why they have these beliefs and behave that way, and I understand it and I accept it, but I also don't want this person like around me all the time to rub off like negatively. And
I think I had to recognize that he's also a child of God and that he's also a sinner. That does not disqualify anything that happened. Whatever happened still happened. And that's the matter of the fact. Matter of the fact, right?
Yeah.
Say that right? Okay. Yeah. And I had to take time. There was a point where my dad and I didn't talk. And that was a decision I made. Simply because I knew that I wouldn't be able to love him well because of my heart posture towards him.
And how'd you change it?
Recognizing that I have to be loved by God and know that I have to be loved by God in order to be able to love anyone else. I had to believe that for myself, not just say it. And I think my dad and I don't talk every day.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's side of the family and I don't talk every day.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of controversy with that.
Okay.
And there's a lot of layers to that. But I know that my Heavenly Father, my God, loves him more than anything else and loves that family more than anything else.
Yeah.
And if he loves them so much, he loves me so much, I can love in a position where I don't have to be best friends with him either. Because the only love that I'm supposed to give him is only coming from the Father. My love that I give to other people is only coming because he loved us first. And so to know that he's already loved by God, I can then love him from afar with boundaries and say, hey, actually, I'm not going to be over at your house every day. Hey, actually, our relationship is going to look different because of, not because I don't think you're a good person, but simply I just know for myself what God is doing in my life. It's not going to elevate what I'm doing.
And you're cool with that.
And I think we've gotten to a place as a father, I can't imagine what it was like when I said, hey, I don't want to talk with you. Because you're a father, I'm not a father. But you can't imagine your girl saying, hey, I don't want to talk with you anymore.
Yeah, that'd be like the end of the world.
End of the world. And even though what they did was wrong, there is still something deep inside of them that they love their own. Even people who don't say they love their own, there's something deep in them.
Yeah.
There's a deep, because we were created that way. Like we were all created by God. It's just whether or not we accept that we were actually created by God or not. And we recognize it, right? That's the difference. And it's like, wait a minute, there's something deep inside of him that's actually hurting him. And it isn't, hey, I'm doing this because I want to hurt you. It's, hey, I'm doing this because I want to be able to love you well. I'm not in a position in my heart at that time. I wasn't in a position to love him the way like God loves us. I wasn't. I had so much animosity and frustration and hurt towards him. And even at that point, there was a lot of frustration towards me because of it. And there still might be.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. I cannot worry. I am not the person who changes people. I don't change my dad. Only God can.
Yeah.
I can only influence him and show him the way that God loves me by loving him.
How would you teach somebody to pray?
Have a conversation like we're having a conversation right now.
You think like it's important to close your eyes open, hands together?
I think prayer is a time for you to be intimate with Jesus and to be able to talk with him. And whether if you have your eyes open, your hands closed or not, it's what gets you into position to be able to have a relationship to talk with him. And so if your eyes are open and there's 15 other people walking around, are you going to be distracted? Or are you not?
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that's where that comes in, is like, where is your heart at? And how are you having a conversation with God or not? That's really the question you got to ask. Or are you distracted? And so if you want to hold your hands because that feels comforting to you, do that. If you want to close your eyes because you feel like you might be distracted, do that. I sometimes close my eyes because I want to be able to picture God.
Okay.
I want to be able to see him and, what would Jesus look like? Right. And I want to be able to like think that he's right here. We're talking to him, just like I'm able to see you.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I imagine like, what would his facial expressions be? Or, because God is not this like, I think oftentimes we think God is just, and he's very holy and very righteous. And he is the only one, like Son of God. And there's a reverence for that for sure. Right. If I'm going into like the president's office. I'm not coming in with, sweatpants and, things like that. There's a reverence, right?
Okay.
I'm still going to be myself.
Yeah.
But there's a reverence towards it. And so I think there's a reverence towards God for sure, a level of that. But at the same time, I have to recognize that, dude, he's actually, one, he was human. Two, he actually just simply wants a relationship with me.
Yeah.
So if you're coming in with pants or holes in your pants, or if you're coming in distracted as all get out, if you're coming in, whatever you're coming in with, like he's actually just wanting to be there. And prayer is just being able to recognize that and have deep intimacy with him.
How does somebody get closer to God? Because basically, I'm a very practical, skeptical type of person. And so forever, I didn't have a relationship. And then I would say definitely over the last 6 to 7 months is the closest relationship I've ever had. And then there are some maybe times or days where it's not top of mind.
Sure.
And I have to like remind myself and then get myself there.
Yeah.
I was just seeing if you had any like advice for somebody that wants to be closer and maybe it has nothing to do with going to church or not. But I do see a power in going to church and being in the room with that many people and you feel
100%.
that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it's not the same to sit at home in your living room and watch
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
It's possible, but not probable.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
for sure. One, I just want to recognize the growth within your family. And being able to see you guys coming to church on a regular basis, and see the growth has been inspiring and it's been amazing. And I know you guys have felt, and have plenty of stories of what God has done in your guys' life.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's no good advice to deepening your relationship with someone. How do you get closer with someone that you know?
Spend time with them,
Spend
talk
time.
to them, communicate.
Exactly. That's the same with Jesus. There's no ritual. There's no guidelines. There's no rules. There's Jesus, you, and a conversation, and a relationship. And there are things to help improve and help you grow as a believer and grow as a child of God, such as the Bible, such as praying the Lord's Prayer. He says, go into your room, shut the door, and pray like this. There's that. But there's also something that's a verse that says, hey, where two or more are gathered, there he is. And I think that's what's so beautiful about going to church. Because it's like, one, we recognize that church is not a building, it's people. And I love that you recognize that.
Yeah.
That, hey, I get to go to this place where there's tons of people who are thinking and believing in the same thing and feeling the same thing. Not because there's a stage, not because there's fancy lights, not because of a sound person or sound equipment, because simply people are wanting to grow in their relationship with Jesus and deepen their relationship with Jesus. And that is so awesome. And so I would say as advice for getting closer to Jesus is, how would you get closer to anyone else?
Yeah.
Read his word and read it as an actual story. Like don't read it as something like, oh, I have to read this. Like if I'm going into reading a book and I'm like, oh, I have to read this, I'm going to actually gain no knowledge. I want to go into reading the Bible like, wow, this is how God would be speaking to them and how he's speaking to me now. This is the story that God's created. What? This is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And the Bible's living, bro. Like my grandma had pulmonary fibrosis, which means she has scar tissue around her lungs to make it that she couldn't breathe.
Dang.
And so she got to a place where if she moved like this on the couch, her oxygen would drop to like the low 60s. And the one thing that woman wanted every single day was to read her Bible. And she would get up and she would read her Bible from Genesis to Revelation. And when she got done with Revelation, she'd go right back to Genesis. And what's interesting is that she learned something new every single time she read the Bible.
Yeah.
Why? The Bible is living. The Bible is Jesus speaking to us in the season that we're in. And so that psalm that you read then might hit different later. And that same in the book of Genesis, when you're talking about all of the lineage and the people and the people's names and how it all got started, it might seem boring, but it actually might speak to you later.
Yeah. What's some advice you'd give to the 18-year-old version of yourself? Which normally when I ask guests this, these guests are 40 and 30, so they have so much years of wisdom. But I feel like with your mind that you have, you have a mind that's wise beyond 20 years. So even just looking back in the last few years, maybe some lessons you've learned or aha moments.
Yeah, people often say I'm more mature for my age. I would say that I'm thankful for all the experiences God has brought me through at such a young age. Because I've been through a lot. We only got a snippet of what God's done in my life and the things that I've gone through. And I'm so thankful for each and every season.
Yeah.
I would say for me, if I had to look back, know who you are before doing what you do.
What if someone's not really sure who they are? Or even kind of going back to myself where I was saying I'm reinventing myself.
Yeah.
It's not super clear. Am I Coach Crack now and I'm coaching? But it's like, I still get down with a camera in my hand. So I'm a video guy.
I think beyond what you do, who has God called you to be?
Not sure.
And that starts with understanding your name first, in my opinion. So my name is Gabriel Noah Hammes. Gabriel means God is my strength. Noah means peace. Hammes means success. And I know that one, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. God is my strength.
Mm-hmm.
2, I'm someone who provides peace. And 3, I'm not successful because of what I do. I'm successful because who God's created me to be, literally by my name, to create success for other people. And I think that's where I had to learn, hey, the things that you think that the things that the world are saying you are, that might be tearing you down, how does that flip? And so you have this, hey, crack shouldn't be using the crack name because it promotes all of this. What does God say about crack? What does God say? Crack is my son, whom I love, who has been called to love other people, X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's starting how you start to shape who you are. What qualities do you have? What are things that you love to do? What are things that people say about you that are inspiring and make you feel good?
Mm-hmm.
Those type of things. I think so often we think that the world is, without knowing, the world describes who we are and identifies us.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to go party. Oh, we need to go do this. Oh, we need to go do that. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. When did that ever become our identity? Like when your mom named you, she didn't name you someone who was going to go party or someone who was going to go do this or what the world wants you to be. She named you. God ultimately gave her that name. And it's like, whoa, wait, Nick is actually someone who's creative. Someone who is a people person, who wants to see other people win, who has big dreams and big visions. And so I think understanding that has really helped shape me and what I do today, because I can start living out of, I'm actually doing all the things I'm doing simply for the matter of the fact that I want to see other people win.
How do you put that on a menu though?
That's
maybe
beautiful.
I'm too.
Yeah. The menu
Yeah.
and all of that is relating with people. So you're saying, hey, this package or whatever it might be, this is how it worked for me. Now this is how it can work for you. And I think that's I know it's cliche in a way, right? And there's definitely a niche for it and how you need to write it out and the script and all of that, right? 100%. The marketing campaigns and all of that. And I think for you, if I were to come up with some type of marketing thing for Crack House, and I'm like, hey, I'm someone who has over 20 years of experience of what it's like to run a business, the struggles of running a business, and the successes of running a business. And you've already said this, I didn't get this opportunity when I was younger, so I want to provide the opportunity for you. And so it might not look, I found for me, it wasn't packages. It was more so, this is what I feel like I can help you most on. Now, when we get in there, like you had mentioned earlier, you're like, bro, you could spend $1,500 on Facebook ads, but you don't have no website. You don't have no brand identity. You have none of this. And so it's like, wait a minute, what's the bigger picture here? And it's beyond what I offer. It's actually like, I want to give you the full package to make sure that you're winning in all circles. So I'm going to provide you with someone who might need a podcast studio. I'm going to provide you with someone who, if you need this or you need that, right? And so I think your package then becomes, okay, what has worked for yourself? And then now you can translate that to, this is where I feel like you could really lean into.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Hopefully.
Yeah, I still run into, but then their website sucks. And so now it's and
and then it's like, and especially we're in Lansing, bro. We have so many creatives here, bro. Lansing's one of the most creative cities I know of. Why? Because we're so tight knit and we got so many people who love doing what they do. And I'm like, all right, you need a website? Bet. I used to be that person. I'm not that person no more. So let's get you that website. Let's get you this.
Send them to somebody else.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Collaboration is so big for me. How do I collaborate with people? People who are even doing the same thing I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I actually want to see you win too. If I'm winning, you got to be winning as well.
Do you struggle with, here's a compliment, being such a great person, God-loving man, when it comes to, like, in my heart, I would love to help every single person that comes into the studio, but I also know that my time is worth a certain thing.
It is.
And I value myself. And so a lot of conversations are, bro, where you're at right now in your career, it doesn't make sense to hire me to do X, Y, and Z. What you need is somebody on your team that you can throw $100 and do X, Y, and Z. So like, how is that for you?
I have run into that myself where people have come up to me and be like, Gabe, you're not valuing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I have grown in that and I'm still growing in that and I will forever grow in that. Because I will never get to a place where I probably have ever valued myself, even if I, charge so much. Why? Because, well, I'm not perfect.
Is it because genuinely just wanting to help people and understanding that? Like,
it is. But I think sometimes we don't help people by giving them handouts.
Yeah.
Because they don't value other people. So when they get to the place that they are at, the place that you had encouraged them to be at, then it's like, whoa, where's Nick at? Or where's Crack at? Where's Gabe at? And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. I was the one who helped you get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of it being like, hey, I actually want you to come along. And so for me, dude, and I think I said this, all my clients are actually people who have deep relationship with, who value me as a business owner and who value me as Gabe.
Yeah.
And so it's like, hey, I would love to help you with that. This is what I think would be the best route for you. Being flexible within your packages, being flexible within your menu of like, hey, you actually might not need this, but you might need this too. And recognizing that not every sale is a good sale.
Definitely.
Not every client is a good client. And so it's okay to say no to clients. That's something I wish I would have told myself earlier on as starting a business. Not every client is a good client.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lesson for me was learning I would say an amateur self-employed person or an amateur entrepreneur, they'll say, we can't leave money on the table.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, you're always leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
Like there's a million things you could be doing. Oh, you could get money doing this or this or this or this. Like you're always going to leave money on the table. So it's being intentional with making the smartest decision on best utilization of your time where you get the most leverage and focusing on that and focusing less time where you get the least amount of leverage doing the stuff that you don't enjoy or make less money or causes you more stress or less happiness. And
yeah, because the more stress you have, the less you're going to actually want to work. The less you're going to want to make money. And you just revert to Wendy's or Uber. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, I need to make sure that I'm actually doing things at a rate. And that's why, bro, I actually didn't do marketing for myself this whole year. And I'm a marketing coach. You know, make that make sense.
Yeah, I would say that goes against my principles and beliefs.
Like, make that make sense.
Yeah.
Why? Because I wanted to make sure that what I was doing, it actually worked for myself. I could see other people, it being working for them. And now I feel like I'm in a place where I've actually built something instead of, you know, and oftentimes we can do this and it's good. It depends on how you do it, right? But sometimes we build the plane while we're trying to fly it. And
I'm doing it right now with the studio.
Exactly. And that's part of the grind for sure. And I actually have been building the plane while flying it, but now I want to take it to another acceleration, another level of height. And I actually want to go another 30,000 feet up. In order to go 30,000 feet up, I needed to have this part and this part and this part in place and in the right places to make sure I can go there. And so, yeah, I think, you know, I don't know how I should end that, but that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Got you. That's exactly what I'm doing with the podcast.
Yeah.
Was just like, okay, even with, so we haven't launched officially promoting podcasts, you know, and I have all this content made because before we launched, I wanted to make sure we're going to run into all these problems here. I'm going to be the guinea pig first.
Exactly.
Who am I to say, I believe that everyone should have a podcast. It's this, it's this, it's this. And I don't have a podcast. So I'm like, step one, let's figure out how to professionally produce a podcast, get good at it, start optimizing it, getting more efficient. And then we can move on to offering it for other people.
100%.
You know, and I think that's where like these packages came in.
And packages are great, bro.
Yeah.
They're so awesome. But be flexible in it.
Yeah.
You know? Because not everybody needs everything.
Yeah. Packages help me because the problem I ran into was not having the menu.
Yeah.
And then me knowing that I'm so aware and I have experience doing the 5,000 things that when I'm talking to the person, now I see, you need these 17 things. What would you charge to do that? And I'm like, oh God.
No, 100%. Dude, that is so true.
So I'm like, hey.
Yes.
We got 3 things.
Everybody go to the growth package for Crack-a-Lack. Let's go.
Yeah. And then I made this too because, so I started with 3 packages and then I ran into, you know, some people aren't ready for that. And I was like, okay, so I need kind of like, I refer to it as I need a kids menu and then an adult menu.
That's good.
And so the kids menu is like good enough to get you going and get some results and get some traction. And then once you do this, then you move on to this. And that's what I meant too about like me as, I guess, assuming, and in the past I would tend to like fire hose people with information. I'm like,
that makes sense.
I just jump straight to, in a perfect world, here's what we're doing. Your website's this, you got a pop-up, you got email in place, organic content going out, paid ads running, and all this, and this. And it's like, yo, I'm not doing any of that. Where do I start? And that's what I ran into with people is you need
to go back to the basics.
Yeah. Step 1 here, start here.
Yeah. And that's where I come in. And that's kind of where I've really felt I really wanted to hone in on.
Yeah.
And bro, you're killing it. And dude, I'm so excited to be able to do this with you hand in hand. Like we actually get to do this together. Like 2 different companies, but be able to do it together to help support Lansing businesses.
See, I'd love to collaborate more too. That's my goal with the studio is, of course, I think everyone wants to own and run their own studio, and it is hard to do. And it's like, I want to be the guy that does the hardest job
Yeah.
which is like build out the whole thing and
Sure.
be responsible for all the mess that comes with different things, but then let people focus on like their zone of genius. As in, okay, for example, like the guys in the studio, they love being in the studio.
Yeah.
And so like to be paid to be in the studio, doing what you love and what you enjoy is awesome. Now, technically with business comes paying rent, paying
Yep.
utilities, paying subscriptions, marketing,
Yep.
email marketing, campaigns, organic content, this, a booking system that makes
Yeah.
it easy for customers to find you, to discover you, to book your services, to do add-ons, to do menu. I'll figure out all of that. Just show up and have fun in the studio.
Yeah.
So then the goal is like, as we scale like business content, sweet. Now let me focus on having relationships with these business owners and have them on my podcast and travel and meet, network and do all these different things. And then let me have a team of video guys that love filming or because there's people that love doing the thing that you hate. That was like a
Big
for
facts.
me too.
Big facts.
And so then when I think it's like, okay, this guy, I'm asking him to film and edit and come up with ideas. He's really good at coming up with ideas, not so good at filming, and he's terrible at editing. But I'm asking him to do all three in his role, so I'm not setting him up for success.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, what if I built a bigger team and now I have a person, editing, you hate editing? This guy loves editing and he's in another state.
Yeah.
Hey, would you love to make a living editing videos? That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I have an opportunity for you. Boom.
Yeah.
Would you love to never have to edit again and only film? Man, that's a dream come true.
Yeah.
Let me be the guy to make that happen.
Yeah. Yeah. You're in the business of championing people.
I love it.
And
I love how you break down things and summarize. It's like, aha.
yeah, bro. I mean, I've gone back and forth of like, am I a creative director or am I a lead championer? Like, let me come up with my own word, championer. And I just want to champion people.
Yeah.
Like, I love what I get to do and I love filming. I love editing. Is it what makes me money at the time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it what I desire to do? I think what deeply in me desires to do is to love God, love people, and champion them so they can win.
That sounds amazing. Sign me up for that too.
I mean, it's in my name, Hammes, success, other people. I'm actually successful because I get to help other people be successful too.
Same.
Yeah.
What about people that have like dumb names and maybe their parents named them like Pepsi or something or Toyota? It's like, your name means car.
That's hilarious. I mean, I would encourage everyone, and I'm looking at the camera and I'm looking at you, every single person, go look up your name. Simple as that.
I'm gonna promise you something after this. Me and Alyssa are both gonna look up our names.
Yes.
First name, middle name, last name.
First name, middle name, last name.
And then like.
And for the weirdos who don't have a middle name, I'm sorry.
And where would you go to look up the meaning? Like Google and just like
Google.
What does
And
my
then
name mean?
If you don't get a biblical meaning, either it's a really great meaning on its own, or you can look up a biblical meaning too.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes there might be like Greek translations of it or Hebrew translations of it that might have a little bit more meaning into. Our English translation might sound corny or might sound like, oh, your name means a car if your last name's Toyota, right? But it actually might mean something deeper than that, right? And
a car is transportation, and it gets people from point A to point B. And what you actually do is you help people transform, and you get them places, you know? So yeah.
That's good.
There's
really
a meaning
good.
behind anything.
There is. And I think if we are not aware of who we are and our meaning ourselves, how are we going to allow that for anyone else
Amen.
to become in contact to?
Last question. What are you most excited about for 2026?
2026. Man, I am really excited to be on this journey with so many more people. And I have a new website coming out. I have the local sessions is what I call my marketing. And I'm really excited for all of that. I have some workshops coming up and all the fun things.
Yeah.
But what I'm most excited about is to be able to see people's success flourish. And
How are you so selfless?
Dude, collaborate with you, bro. Because bro, so many people have done that for me.
Okay.
And I am so thankful for that. And there are points, dude, you have to be celebrated as well. Allow yourself to be celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm learning this for myself. But don't do it in a way that's prideful, obviously. Be like, oh man, I actually get to be celebrated because of what God has done in and through me. Like tomorrow is my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to go out and hang out with people and be celebrated. I'm going to though, because I know I'm not just celebrating me. I'm celebrating what God has done in and through me.
Yeah.
For the past 21 years.
Yeah.
And so next year is I feel like the word is new beginnings for next year. And I know that's 2 words. Don't come for me, chat. But it's like, dude, I'm really excited to see for collaboration.
Yeah.
For, making Lansing better. Like my company has been built on people, for people, with people, for people.
That's awesome.
That is how the local GH is. That's why the local GH is where it's at today. And if I don't go to the next level without people being even more involved, I don't want it. Because I know I cannot win without other people.
Facts.
So you're in it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make Lansing better. Let's bloom where we're planted. Love the city that we're in. And let's win.
I definitely want to do collaboration.
Let's
so
do
just
it.
kind of, I'm the type too, and we'll talk after this, but like, if you have a random idea at 5 a.m. when you wake up and it has something to do with me, just send me a voice message or a text and be like, bro, I was thinking, what if this and this and this, and then I think you'd be the perfect, like,
bro,
send that.
Same.
Okay.
Some of the best ideas come when we're sleeping or in the shower.
Yeah. Where can people find you on social media?
So Gabe Hammes Official, GABEHA, M as in Mary, ES as in Sam Official, and the local GH. Yeah.
All over.
All over.
What's your website?
thelocalgh.com.
Good for you.
Yeah,
the
man.
branding is on point.
Thank you, bro. Yep. So the local sessions is coming out next year.
Describe the local sessions.
Clarity creates confidence. Confidence creates momentum. And so I want to be able to provide clarity in your brand, clarity in who you are, and help you hit the target, help you play darts not in a dark room, but help switch on the light bulb so you can actually see where the target is.
That's beautiful.
So that's the local sessions. And
are those like one-on-one online or in person or?
4 tracks is what I call it. And they're not necessarily, they're customized. I'll say that. So brand clarity, marketing rebirth, team communication, and ignite are my 4 different tracks that I have just to, provide more clarity. And then there's one-on-one coaching after that as well. And then there's going to be some monthly workshops happening and things like that.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to the Free Game with Crack episode. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. If you're tuned in on Spotify, do me a favor and give it a 5-star review. See you guys next time. Thank you for Gabe for being on the pod.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, for real.
Amen.
All right. Peace out.
Good stuff, man.